I see you. Die hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard. Homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, you need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it is on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gonna murder that.
Bang, bang. What's good, guys? It's your boy, Diehard Ebru, in the place to be. Talk about some Knicks today, you know what I'm saying? In the place, man. Back-to-back pods, bro. So, I mean, you know, I kind of wanted to cue it up, but I forgot to cue it up, so I'll just tell you verbally. On the last pod that I did was actually yesterday. You know, we got over 3,000 views on that pod, man. So that's more like it, man. I used to see stuff like that more consistently, maybe like 2 years ago. But like I said, last couple years has been very hard for me, you know, just a lot, you know, whatever, man. I'm gonna stop bitching, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Let's get into these Knicks. First of all, let's start off with this, man. Everybody, I know you see the thumbnail here. You got Paul George, you got Jimmy Butler, and you got Brandon Ingram there. There's a lot to unpack with that. But what the hell is up with this word here? Triumvirate? Triumvirate? You know what I'm saying? I can't even pronounce the word. I know what the word means. You know what I'm saying? When the person said it, you know what I'm saying? It kind of just took me back because it's like, this guy just saying nothing but bullshit. Let me just reiterate that. All of these guys, these tweets and stuff and these clips that I'm going to be showing, I'm not going to be playing audio, but it's clips and stuff like that you all have seen. All they keep saying is, I think, I don't know, but I'm not too sure. I spoke to some guy and I don't think, and all this other stuff. I can do that, yo. I can do that. Any of you can do that. You know what I'm saying? But these are the people that are supposed to be reporting things to us. They have nothing to report. All they doing is speculating the same way that we speculate. You know, and I get tired of it. You know, because you know, guys on other podcasts and stuff, they fiend to get their ratings up just to get these guys on their pod, you know, for interviews and stuff. And then they get them on the pod, and like I said, they interview them. And then you hear them saying, well, I think, I don't know, from what I heard, and I don't think they're going to do that, or from what I understand. Like, you don't know, fam. You just don't know. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. You don't know more than what we do. You're giving us an opinion. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm giving an opinion. So people will come on my channel and say, listen, man, you know, I know why I unsubscribed to your channel for the first time because of my Mitch Robinson takes or whatever, or because of my Frank Ntilikina takes years ago, or because of my Kevin Knox takes years ago, which is all based on an opinion. Where are these motherfuckers? Where are these players? That, you know, these guys are not even in the league anymore. You know what I'm saying? But let's give these guys you know, all of our attention and all of our money and stuff like that based off of opinion. They have nothing to report, you know, and they have everything at their disposal to get information for us, but they don't have nothing. They don't have anything. You know, all these rumors. Yeah, I heard about Paul George, excuse me. I heard about Jimmy Butler. I also heard about Brandon Ingram. Yeah, you didn't hear nothing. You saw my podcast and said, "Oh, that's a good idea." Let me tell you the rumor. This is the rumor, what I heard. Maybe this is what I think. You know, like, you know, I just had to vent that out because it's very frustrating as a fan when you're on the internet looking for something to read, looking for something about the Knicks, and every time you see something, not just necessarily about the Knicks, but any team, it's always some bullshit. You know, I feel bad for Ian Bagley because Iron Bagley, he's the only one that I think like this just wears his like job on his sleeve. Because as soon as you see the camera on him, you know that he got nothing. You know that he got nothing, but he has to do his job. He has to put out content. He has to answer questions. And the one thing about him, he will say, "I did hear this, but I don't think this is going to happen. I don't know for sure." Whatever, like he says it like that, but his energy at least tells you, "Yeah, I don't know shit, bro. I'm just here, clocking in. This is my job." You know what I'm saying? So I respect that. But you got guys that say, "Yeah, because blah 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 blah," and but they're using these opinionated words. You know what I'm saying? That are saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? But their energy is like, yeah, because like they're so smart. Like, yo, you're so privileged to have me on your podcast. And you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do some interviews coming up soon. I'm just trying to get myself situated here, but I'm gonna interview people that I want to interview that I've been doing that on this channel. I'm gonna get back to interviewing people, and I want to interview people that we could talk Knicks without somebody sitting on a high horse, and don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't know more than me, but want to sit and act like, well, I'm gonna get my viewership up because I'm on your pod. Like, nah, I think it's the opposite. You're gonna get your viewership up by being on these pods. You know what I'm saying? So it's a two-way street with that, man. So anyway, back to this. I'm just ranting. Back to this word here. Let me pop this down real quick, and get rid of this. So let me get back to this word. This is the person that said the word here. Put him back on the screen here. This is I like the guy though. I'm not dissing him. Jake Fisher. So I don't have the audio queued up here, but he just busts out with it, and just like the way I'll just play it without the audio. You can just see his energy. Like it's almost like a matter of fact kind of thing. Like, yeah, man, you're here to see me. You're here to listen to my voice, and I have nothing to say, bro. So anyway, he says, depends on who you talk to. Depends on who you talk to. If you talk to certain people, who is a certain people? They say that OG Anunoby has wanted a larger offensive role since back in Toronto. We all know that. We all know that. There's always been saying that they always want a larger offensive role, but he's been in the NBA forever now. You know what I'm saying? So just keep it moving. He's been a little miffed by being like the fourth banana to the Villanova triumvirate. You know what I'm saying? I might have heard that in a Shakespearean play or something like that. It's a very specific definition. So let's do that right now. Let's actually Google what the hell that word means. Because when you're covering the Knicks, you got 3 Knicks players, right? I'm quite sure he went on Google and said, you know what? Let me look up a word that I could put together that describes what these 3 Villanova guys have here with the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So he was Googling, stuff like that, and then this word popped up. You know what I'm saying? This is the definition as you can see it. In ancient Rome, that's all I need to show you. In ancient Rome, okay? So this word is not a word that you fucking use just regularly. It's just in ancient Rome, a group of 3 men holding power in a particular unofficial coalition of Julius Caesar. Come on, man. Listen, man, you found this word and you're just trying to make yourself seem smarter or whatever. Like, man, this is fucking like, it's kind of too early to be cursing. It's like maybe like a little after 7, but it is what it is, man. You don't like just go on to the next shit. That's what I always say, man. But this is the word that he chose there, and it just like angered me. It triggered me so much because you have nothing to bring. Only thing you have to bring is vocabulary words that you Google. What can I use? Well, oh, that's a great word. I'm gonna use that on the next pod. I'm quite sure he had it posted on his vision board in front of the screen, like, bam, let me put this word here. Let me make sure I get the pronunciation correct. Triumvirate. Excuse me, triumvirate. It's triumvirate. So we're gonna use that in sentences now. Whenever you have 3 people in power, and they say you got the supervisor, superintendent, and freaking dispatcher or something like that. Oh, the 3 of them is the triumvirate of supervision. It's the triumvirate of supervision, man. Come on, man. It's garbage, bro. Garbage reporting, fam. It's just your opinion. You're saying that now you're implying that OG Anunoby is pissed off about his role, man. Man, get the fuck out of here. That's not what I saw, and that's not what happened when we watch these games. If anything, this guy OG Anunoby refuses to shoot the ball sometimes. He's like, damn, man, shoot the damn ball. At the same time, he had that elbow injury. So he wasn't really able to get aggressive. Even in the playoffs, man, he had some big games, but a lot of times, like, yo, damn, shoot the fucking ball. It's like one of these games in Philadelphia where, like, even I think the game where he had like 20 something points, he was pausing every time he had an opportunity to score. Even that big dunk that he had when he faked the 3-point shot and drove, it kind of was like a delay. Like he didn't really know that he was open or no, it really realized what he wanted to do. So OG, like, if does he want a bigger role? Okay, cool. If he had a bigger role and we did go to him, I think he would do well. But the thing about it, he's not a natural scorer. He has to force it. But he can score though. He can score. I've seen him do that to the Knicks when he was on Toronto. So he has the ability to put the ball in the basket. But just look at his stats for his career: 15 points per game, 12 points, and stuff like that. He's never averaged more than that, in points per game. I can Google it. I'm not going to, but and he's not all of a sudden going to get 25 points per game. It's possible. He's in his prime now. It's possible that he could get 25 points per game. You know what I'm saying? But the likelihood of that happening is what? So I mean, like, what are we talking about here? I just think this is bullshit. So he's the fourth wheel of the Villanova true. And he said that, and then he said that's before Julius Randle comes back. So I mean, so then he's the fifth wheel. So then this word that you found, the three people from Villanova, and then now the you forgot to mention Julius Randle. So he's ahead of, so Julius Randle's ahead of him too. So what are you trying to say, that OG is pissed off about being in the shadow of the Villanova people? This is what you're reporting, and then now so I guess he's pissed off at Julius too, right? Like, come on, man. That's not what we saw. That's not what we saw all last year, man. So I'm just really triggered, man. Really triggered by these guys, man. But like I said, this guy Jake Fisher's been around for a while. You know what I'm saying? These guys work for entities. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Jake Fisher's follower account here. So people follow him. I know he has 80,000 followers and stuff like that. He's been around for a minute. So he grew, like, he came up in this social media age. 2009, it says he joined on Twitter. So he's been around for a while. Yahoo Sports, you got Balls Online, all this other stuff, man. I got respect for him. You know what I'm saying? I got respect for him and come up in the game, man. But like I said, just takes like that, like, really like trigger me, man. It's like come on, man. It's like it's pimping. It's like pimping, bro. Come on, man. You can't pimp a New Yorker. Speaking of pimping, man, this guy Paul George here. So Paul George said it on his own podcast, which I don't have queued up here, but his podcast, he said that he wants to play for a team that plays the right way. So that's a loaded thing, because you could talk about OKC. OKC has, I believe, two salary spots there. Let me take a look at that. I believe it's here. I believe the OKC has two salary spots here. So Detroit has $72 million to spend, which is a lot. But Detroit, I don't know who's going to go there. We'll see what happens. Philadelphia has 58 million. Some of the stuff is not all guaranteed, but they do have a lot of money. 58 million is basically almost two max slots there. Jazz has 44. Where's OKC? OKC is somewhere here. Here he goes. OKC has 39 million. So OKC has one max spot basically to bring a player. So I mean, that $39 million could go back to Paul George, and he could be a nice piece there for OKC. Excuse me, I don't know what direction OKC wants to go in. I don't know if getting a Paul George is somebody they want to add to the team, if that's going to mess up what they've been doing there, because this is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's team right now, and they're building this team off of defense and stuff like that. And I guess Paul George could fit that, because he is probably like the best two-way player in the NBA right now. But that's a good possibility. He already played for Oklahoma City, so maybe he might not want to go back, backtrack, or maybe he might see these young guys say, you know what, I think I can help these guys, man. So this is interesting, with Paul George. But how he fits with the Knicks, man. Let's talk to some more talking heads. There's another guy here that's just like the face of what if, and I think, and from my understanding, you know what I'm saying, he's one of those guys too, man. This is also LeBron James' boy too, by the way. He said the reason the Knicks, him going to the Knicks makes sense if you want to deal with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. How about OG and Paul George? So I mean, I get that. That's fantastic. You know what I'm saying? It depends on what you're gonna trade the Clippers. The Clippers are probably gonna ask for Julius. You know what I'm saying? I really don't want to do that. The thing with the Clippers too, man, they have a lot of older players there. They got Kawhi and all these guys. So I'm thinking that maybe they might need to spread the wealth a little bit. They have too many stars there. So I said that in the last pod. So I mean, the Knicks trading them, possibly Bogdanovich. I don't know if that's something they would want to do, but he adds shooting and stuff like that to keep the spacing. He doesn't play defense, you know what I'm saying? But he can ball handle and stuff like that. We know what he can do, but he's older also. So that I'm quite sure that these guys want to try to get a little bit younger. I'm not too sure. That I'm not too sure. But also, this guy Paul George is also a free agent, so he doesn't have to, give the Clippers a trade. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to do that. But if he communicates with the Knicks and say the Knicks, yo, I want to go to the Knicks. That's what Paul George would have to do. I want to go to the Knicks. He'll tell the Clippers, listen, I want to go to the Knicks. If you guys want to make a trade with the Knicks, make something happen. You know what I'm saying? If not, I'm just going to sign with OKC. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to get nothing for me. So that's something that the dialogue that I'm saying there, that's the important thing. Paul George would have to say, I want to go to the Knicks. And then he would just have to force a trade to the Knicks. That way at least the Clippers would get something. So then now you could talk about Bogdanovich going over there, and then you could talk about whoever else they could throw there to make the money work. More than likely Mitchell Robinson or something like that. Plus the draft picks also, you're gonna have to add that for Paul George too. So I mean, getting Paul George here and then re-signing OG, you're gonna go into the top apron and stuff like that. But if you could put out a squad with Julius, OG, and then have Paul George in the backcourt with Brunson, and then you're gonna have I guess Hartenstein also. So you resign Hartenstein, or maybe look to go in a different direction. But if you got four guys like that in your starting lineup, that's incredible. That's incredible. I feel like OG, he wants to be a scorer, and according to Jake Fisher, right? But Paul George already does that. Paul George already does that. So if he comes over, he's already going to be that scorer guy. That's somebody that you have to get him more shots and stuff like that. Paul George can get busy, so Paul George doesn't necessarily need you to clear it out for him and needs a special place for him. Paul George knows how to play, and he wants to play the right way. That's what he said. So the Knicks do play the right way. They move the ball. They move the ball around and stuff like that. So also too, him not having having to worry about ball handling duties so much. You got a top-notch point guard in Jalen Brunson. So Jalen Brunson will have the ball, and Paul George can be able to move around a little bit more. But Paul George can ball handle, and so can Julius Randle. OG could do it a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? So the versatility is there. You want to talk about losing Mitchell Robinson with the height, because that's what some of the guys are saying. I believe Alan Hahn was saying that he didn't want to lose Mitchell Robinson due to height, because he's a 7-footer. But if everybody else is strong and has decent length and height, all around, then it helps out with the center spot, especially in today's NBA, because the NBA champion Celtics, they didn't even play Porzingis. You know what I'm saying? They had Al Horford out there, and Al Horford is like 6'8", the most 6'9", the most, maybe he might be 6'10". I don't think he is. I think he's think he's shorter than that. You know what I'm saying? Playing center. You know what I'm saying? So we can get away with having a smaller player now in today's NBA. So anyway, it's interesting there to talk about that. Let's get into another guy here. This is somebody that kind of surprised me a little bit. Jimmy Butler. Miami getting rid of Jimmy Butler. So there's always been like rumors of just behind the scenes stuff. Arguing and stuff like that, especially with Spoelstra. So I mean, Jimmy Butler right now is getting older. He's like 35 or something like that. Let's get into what these guys are saying here. This is Howard Beck. Howard Beck is saying that Jimmy Butler will be traded. Rival executives have been buzzing about this for months. It's not just rival executives. We've seen reports ourselves that Jimmy Butler and Miami Heat just they have things going on behind the scenes. I guess just Jimmy Butler's personality. I think just the way his methods to try to get his teammates involved or hyped up to, or like get their blood flowing, competitive blood flowing. Jimmy Butler has a way of pushing guys' buttons. So I think that's what that's about. But I think guys are tired of the act already. Plus, Jimmy Butler's getting older too. So he's about to turn 35. A lot of injuries, a lot of miles on his knees and stuff like that. So that's what they're just talking that out there. But LeBron James' boy here, he comes out here and says that he doesn't think. That's the thing. I don't think. It's nothing to report. It's all opinion, right? He says, so this is his opinion. He doesn't think Jimmy Butler's going anywhere. I think Jimmy Butler is going to stay with the Heat. That's I think. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You're just giving your opinion, based off of your opinion, not based off anything else. It's very frustrating, man. It's very frustrating. Talking about the Knicks, doing content like this, when there's really is no real reports. Everything is I think. Before they used to say sources say, so I'm glad they're not saying my sources say, because my sources is a fucking lie. My sources is my opinion. And for the fact that they don't say my sources anymore, and now they just straight up saying I think, then that just tells you everything you need to know. So anyway, Jimmy Butler, where there's smoke, there's fire, though. Jimmy Butler is getting older. The Miami Heat already has his replacements on the roster. With the guy that injured Javier Vasquez, the guy that injured Julius, he could slide into that starting small forward spot and they'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? So if they can trade Jimmy Butler and get some assets for him, they probably would do that. Miami Heat loves to do light resets. They'll go for it. They went to the finals and then they made it deep in the playoffs already with this group. Right now, if they was to trade Jimmy Butler, they're gonna be looking to do a light reset to maybe either come back next year or possibly the year after that. But they're very good at picking up diamonds in the rough, very good at flipping assets and stuff. So look out for that, man. Jimmy Butler to the Knicks, that would be very interesting. I could see like just like last year with all the trades that we talked about. It's going to be the same trade, dude. People keep talking about these names, but they're not putting trade ideas out there. It's going to be the same trade. Mitchell Robinson's got to be in the mix. Some of these trades. Of course, Bogdanovich. You got our guy Deuce McBride also. Outside of that, who else is really available for the Knicks to trade? We're not going to trade Josh, DiVincenzo, anybody like that. Julius Randle, I just feel like we got to stop talking about trading Julius Randle, because I think that's just going lateral. We need to add to this group, not just go lateral and still be looking for that third player when we already have two players on the roster. We need to add one. So why trade one of our players for a lateral move and then we still got to get the third player? Unless you could figure out a way to get the third player, then that's fine. But the Knicks don't have any money to spend, so it's going to be weird. Speaking of trades, right? Because like I said, it's still going to be the same trade scenario. With the first trade here that I talked about, we're talking about with Paul George. It will be Paul George will have to tell the Clippers, I want to go to the Knicks to force a trade. That way, the Clippers will have to take basically whatever the Knicks offer, or else Paul George would just go to like OKC or Philly, because Philly, I just showed you some of the people that have money there. Philly has actually a lot of bread to give up, man. So let's go to Philly. Philly has 58. So like I said, it's not so that number is it's fidgety. That number could be up or down. It could be down, but 58. This is what they put their projected cap space. So I mean, basically they could get in one max slot and another player. Paul George could just sign with Philly. So he could threaten them and say, "Listen, I'll just go to Philly if you don't want to trade with the Knicks." So that's the leverage thing I was talking about there with Paul George there. The next one is Jimmy Butler. Like I said, the Miami Heat is the ones that might want to be trying to do the hard reset. Just trade Jimmy Butler, try to get some assets for him, draft well, and try to see if they can flip something during the season or maybe in the next offseason after they draft again. So this is what they might be thinking in Miami, because they've done it before. Before they won those championships, they had they had other players that they traded away, before they got Wade and stuff like that, man. So Miami, he's not afraid to make moves. They traded Odom and those guys for Shaq. If you don't remember, that's how they got Shaq in Miami, and that's how Odom, and those guys got to LA. So it worked out for both teams, because Miami got their championship, and then the Lakers ended up getting their championship also. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Miami is really good for that as far as flipping players and stuff like that. So let's get into the third player here. So this is Mitchell Robinson. So this is what I was saying about Alan Hahn. He says, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think, that if the Knicks are shopping Mitchell Robinson, I don't want to go that far. So it's just him speculating. But he said that there's going to be teams calling about him. So this is just speculating. And it's not saying that teams are calling for Mitchell Robinson. It's Hartenstein is a free agent, so they're gonna call the Knicks. Hey, what you thinking about Mitchell Robinson? Thinking about trading him? Of course they're gonna call about Mitchell Robinson. So it's not Alan Hahn reporting that Mitchell Robinson is they're calling for Mitchell Robinson. He's saying that he doesn't know, but he thinks. So this is an opinion here. You know what I'm saying? So of course they're gonna be looking for Mitchell Robinson, man. So some of the teams that we've been asking for, this that we've been talking about is New Orleans. New Orleans is one of them. Memphis is another one also. I don't really want to talk about the Memphis too much, because Memphis, he could be traded to Memphis, but guys are talking about that ninth pick. Memphis is not trading the ninth pick for Mitchell Robinson. If they do that, then wow, that would be crazy. But I don't think the Knicks want the ninth pick. The Knicks are trying to trying to get more experienced players here. So we're not going to be looking to draft and develop at this point. We need a player. So I'm not too sure about Memphis because I don't really know who else they have on that roster that I would want to take. So just looking at just thinking about their roster, they didn't really have anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the Pelicans makes the most sense because they're going to be looking for a center. All their center prospects are free agents there. So Mitchell Robinson is going to have a home there as starting center. He will be in the West Coast too, so that keeps him away from the Knicks. Also this Pelicans roster here. If I could just pull it up here, this Pelicans roster. Let me slide this over. There you go. The Pelicans roster, they won 49 games here. So the Pelicans, they already have Jonas Valanciunas is their free agent center. He's going to be gone. Herb Jones they have there. He's 6'8". And then they got Trey Murphy. He's also 6'8". So they got two guys there that can play small forward for them already. So with this guy Brandon Ingram, that's three guys that play the same position, all the same height. Brandon Ingram is also 6'8". So all these guys play the same position, and they got Zion Williams in the other four spot, so he's not going to leave that spot. So they kind of need to make space for Trey Murphy Jr. to take that starting spot, or Herb Jones, either one. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, they kind of need to get rid of Brandon Ingram and try to get a player, to fit the slot, to fit their roster a little bit better. If they was to trade Brandon Ingram and get a starting center and Mitchell Robinson, for everyone that says Mitchell Robinson is the greatest offensive rebounder in the NBA and best defender, shot blocker, and a rim protector, and all this bullshit that everybody says, if he's so good, then we can get Brandon Ingram for him. So send Brandon Ingram over there. Same trade, man. Bogdanovich over there. Maybe send a draft pick if you want to do that. And then get Brandon Ingram over here. Then we don't have to worry about talking about OG and having to pay him all this money and stuff like that. Even with Brandon Ingram, we can still do the same thing with Paul George. Maybe put OG at the 2, and have Brandon Ingram at the small 4. It doesn't sound right to me, but just the idea of just trying to upgrade positions and without having to overspend, to keep OG here, we could just trade Mitchell Robinson and bring Brandon Ingram over here. I think it's very possible, because the Pelicans already have, like I said, they already have 2 6'8" guys that are very good that could just take over the small forward spot. They kind of need to get another position. So I mean, they can ask for Mitch, and they could probably ask for Deuce too. It's the same guys being moved in all these trades here. So if they can get Deuce would definitely help out their backcourt. Having a young player with some moxie. They don't really have that guy. I'm kind of looking at their roster. Who do they have? They have Jose Alvarado there. Maybe we can steal him in that trade. I don't see who else they have here. In the backcourt. So I mean, a guy like Deuce McBride might go to the Pelicans and actually have a nice career over there. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think that's a good trade for Brandon Ingram. So it's very possible for us to pull a Brandon Ingram instead of having to worry about overpaying for OG. We could just go for Brandon Ingram and then keep the salary down and still give the Knicks an opportunity to maneuver a different way. Like keeping our mid-level exemption. So just picture this. The Knicks have Julius, we have Brandon Ingram. They're probably going to resign Hartenstein at that point. Then you got Brunson and DiVincenzo. And then with the mid-level exemption, there's plenty of players here that we could look at here that could fill in the mid-level exemption. So I mean, this is am I looking at I think this is everybody. This is everybody, or did I click small forwards? Yeah, this is small forwards here. So I'm looking at small forwards. You got Paul George there and all these different guys. But sliding down here, some of these little guys here, like I don't know if DeRozan would take that. You're talking about Kelly Oubre. He probably would take the mid-level exemption. You got, several guys here that could probably take that. You want to talk about upgrading the shooting guard spot because we just lost Deuce in this trade. Let's say if we traded Deuce, take a look at some of the shooting guards that's available, for mid-level exemption players here. Quickly is there. He's listed as number 1 as at shooting guard because I just clicked shooting guard. Yeah, so they got him listed as a shooting guard, which is not right. You got Caldwell Pope. You got Klay Thompson, you got Bruce Brown. These are all guys that are going to be looking to get mid-level exemption money. Malik Beasley's there. Gary Trent Jr., that's somebody everybody keeps talking about, Gary Trent Jr. I think we can get Gary Trent Jr. for the mid-level exemption in this scenario. So did we get better? Did we get Brandon Ingram? Yes. Did we get a nice, shooting guard prospect to come off the bench? Yes, Gary Trent. I think that's what he's going to get. He made $18 million. But like I said, due to the market, he might end up getting the mid-level. going forward here. You got DeAnthony Melton. He's pretty good. A couple of other guys here too. Some older players here that could easily be plucked and put in as backup. Even this guy Alec Burks, you could bring him back too. And then it would make sense because then he actually would play more. So I'm just talking it through, man. It's a lot of stuff to unpack here, but I'm just talking through these things. So it is very possible for the Knicks to end up with a Paul George or Jimmy Butler or a Brandon Ingram. If we decide to go that route, and like I said, in all these scenarios, we still could keep OG. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about making the team better. How can we make the team better here? If we trade Mitchell Robinson and sign Hartenstein, maybe the Knicks would like to slide Julius to the center a little bit, make Julius play a little bit more center. We'll have OG with Brandon Ingram. Maybe we could put those guys together in the front court at times, push Julius to the center spot. You know what I'm saying? Give Julius a breather, let those guys rock out. It gives us options a night in, night out to give guys breaks here and there. So I think that's pretty cool. But also injuries is a concern too. Paul George has had horrific injuries. Knick-knack injuries too. Jimmy Butler has been injured basically every single year of his career, and especially recently. And then Brandon Ingram has had his issues with injuries also. So there's always a risk for everything, man. So it is what it is, man. So I don't really want to talk too much about Mitchell Robinson because Mitchell Robinson, this situation with him, I think we can talk about that for days, man. But I really don't believe in this player. But if you, like I said, I don't believe in him, but I know that other people do, and he has a lot of a lot of respect around the league, especially the way Alan Hahn was talking about him. Alan Hahn was putting his business voice on, his radio business voice when he was talking about Mitchell Robinson. And it's believable. I'm trying to tell you, it's so believable the way these guys talk about these players. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't see it. See, 7 foot tall. Yeah, but this is not like the early 2000s or the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Tyson Chandler. Somebody mentioned Tyson Chandler. I never liked Tyson Chandler either. I thought he was a fraud also. But at least Tyson Chandler did have a hook shot, and at least Tyson Chandler could hit like a 15-foot jump shot if it came to him. And at least you can. Sometimes if you really needed it, you can just throw the ball to Tyson Chandler and he can get a bucket. Sometimes, not a guaranteed bucket, but at least sometimes he can get the ball and score it if he had to, outside of just lobs. Mitchell Robinson is just a lob threat. And even then, he doesn't really collect the lobs well. He's like sometimes he reaches for things that he shouldn't be going for, and then he'll make a spectacular play. But then a lot of times he could just lay it in, and he just doesn't do it. And it's something so simple that instead of trying to get the highlight dunk, he could just catch and just lay it up, but he never does that. So it's just weird, man. But like I said, people around the league love this guy. He has a mystique about him. People think that he's Tyson Chandler, but he's not though. So let him go to the Pelicans, and maybe he'll go to the Pelicans, and maybe he'll learn to shoot free throws. Maybe he won't shoot 30% from the free throw line when he goes to the Pelicans all of a sudden. Maybe he'll get his mojo back, and maybe he'll never be injured again. And then maybe he'll finally contribute to a winning team, because he hasn't contributed to a winning team yet. He's been hurt every single time the Knicks have made the playoffs. He's been hurt a majority of the season. So it is what it is, man. But the options here for the Knicks to improve is there, man. So I've been doing a lot of talking, man. Basically like freaking 42 minutes worth of talking. Or how long have I been on this damn thing? I've been talking for damn near 30 minutes or so, but we got to say what's up to my people. My man, Generation JL in the place. What's up? Daniel Berry Sports. You didn't make the first, man. The guy's always trying to get the first spot, but he's always there. Gideon Alakwa, good to see you. Bobby Santiago in the place to be. What's up? Frank Matos, he says, what's cooking, Eru? Knicks trade chips are Bogey, Mitch, and McBride. That's it. So it's like no surprise. Just like last year. Who are we gonna trade? And then once we finally did make the trade for Bogey and Alec Burks, it was the same players that we thought were gonna go. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's not a surprise. But I hate when people say, oh, the Knicks need to make a trade. We need to get a wing. We need to get this, that, and the other. Like, who? Just say who you're going to trade for. So thanks to Frank Matos, we have it in writing here. I've been saying it throughout the whole podcast, but now we got it in writing. This is the trade here. Bogey, Mitch, and McBride plus picks. These are the guys we have to trade. Every single scenario, this is the crew that's going out. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I really like the Paul George idea. So I'm hoping that Paul George, from his podcast, when he was saying that he wants to go to a team that plays the right way, I'm hoping that he's talking about the Knicks. He already has a rapport with Julius Randle. He likes Brunson and stuff like that. He knows on Tom Thibodeau. He wants to play a certain way. Hopefully, that's the kind of way he wants to play. Him playing with Embiid, I'm not sure if that's what he wants to do. Him playing with OKC is kind of scary again, but he's already been there and done that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he wants to go there. The Knicks look very scary. They look like they can knock on the door. They're knocking on the door of the Celtics, man. All they got to do is make it to the playoffs healthy, and I think they're going to give the Celtics a run for the money next year. So I mean, if I'm saying that, a lot of people around the league are saying that. So Paul George and everybody else out there is looking at that, and he already tried to come to the Knicks last year at the trade deadline. He wanted I ain't gonna say lie and say that he would say that he came out and said that. But just basically the way that he was talking to Julius when he was interviewing Julius, like it seemed like something was there, that like I said, this is speculation, just like all these guys do with the speculation. So I mean, maybe there might be something there, especially for contract talks and stuff. He was, I think the thing was he was going to come to the Knicks, but the Knicks were didn't want to give him an extension, so that was the issue. So I believe that was what happened with that. So anyway, maybe things have changed. So maybe him coming to the Knicks and he sees what's happening, he sees something special, an opportunity to win a championship. Maybe he'll come to the Knicks demands here and play hard, play ball with the Knicks, get a fair salary, but don't hurt the Knicks too much with the long extension. And then pause. Wow, that was crazy. Sheesh. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens. I really like that idea. Because like I said, the opportunity to make that trade for Paul George and still sign OG, that's crazy to me. We'll have two of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, along with Brunson, Julius, and whoever else we get. Maybe Hartenstein, who knows? Incredible. Coach Sierra, what's good, man? What you got for me here? He said Hero and Jimmy gone. Okay. I think Hero's gone too. Hero, what's funny about Hero, man, is that like every year they've been trying to trade him, and then like you can see like during the games stuff like that, they don't want to give him pounds and stuff, and then it's just an awkward thing. Every time they talk about him, they always talk about trading him, so that can't be fun. I'm working hard to come back, and every time he comes back, he plays well, but then he's still in trade rumors constantly, and the Knicks are not. The Miami Heat are never denying it. You know what I'm saying? So the writing is on the wall. He's probably going to be out of there. And he says, if you trade Mitch, you need to replace him with a big body because iHeart gets bullied by big centers. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's true. You know who gets abused by perimeter-oriented centers? That guy right there, Mitchell Robinson. Most of the centers in the NBA are perimeter-oriented centers. And also too, I'm not sure if that's really too correct. Because you're really talking just about Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid averaged 35 points per game against the league, not just Hartenstein. So he was abusing Hartenstein in the playoffs, yes, but he abuses everybody. He averaged 35 points per game. That's a lot of points per game. Jordan at his best averaged 37 to 38 one time, right? So he averaged 35 points per game. That's crazy. It's a lot of points per game. So Hartenstein's defense against Embiid is just not like a good barometer there. But also take a look at how he played against other centers around the league. He's done well throughout the season against various different teams, various different type of players. So I mean, Hartenstein already solidified himself, man. But what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? There's nobody who's going to completely blank somebody. But the way Hartenstein plays with that push shot that he has, he's still one of the top offensive rebounders since everyone likes offensive rebounds in 2024. Hartenstein is still one of the best that do that. Hartenstein still blocks shots, but he passes the ball better. Like I said, finishes better around the rim and in the paint and stuff like that. And he also still can shoot a little bit if I'm given the opportunity, man. You know what I'm saying? So, just as a whole, Hartenstein is fine. You take whatever flaws you think he has, but Mitchell Robinson, I just think his flaws don't fit the Knicks, man. Guy can't make free throws for Christ's sake. He can't score at all outside of catch and dunk. You know what I'm saying? And then he doesn't box out. He doesn't set good screens. There's a lot of things going on with Mitch Robinson, man. But let's take a look at this. He said Ingram can play the shooting guard spot position better than OG. But at that point, once you get both of those guys, then they just mix matching according to matchups and stuff like that. So it is what it is. It's not like we're playing 2K where guys stick with the matchup, according to what button you press. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they'll be getting caught in switches and stuff like that, and things will work out. Tom Thibodeau is a good defensive coach. He'll figure it out. Once you get the talent here, then you just do your thing here. And let me pause this. This thing is getting rang up there with views there just for me. Um, Lynn Diori says, who do you think we should draft? Okay, I'll give you a couple names in a second here. Shout out to Harlem CEO. Always interesting stream, bro. Yeah, man. I'm trying to keep it funky, bro. Like I said, I was so upset about this triumvirate. Let me get the name right. Triumvirate. This definition pissed me off. When I heard the word, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Because like I said, I heard that in like social studies class, whatever. And then like the definition begins in ancient Rome. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. It's so annoying, man. I don't know, man. Just don't insult my intelligence with bullshit. That's all I have to say, man. Shout out to Robert Bruce. He says LeBron James to the Knicks, and New York drafts Bronny. That's a possibility too, man. But with the beef that CAA supposedly has with Rich Paul and stuff like that, I don't think it's gonna happen. Especially with this guy James Dolan now taking back the head of MSG and whatever, taking the CEO position back again, because he was trying to get a basketball mind to take over that spot. He wasn't able to find anybody that he could trust, I guess, so that he just took it over, just to have the spot taken. So I'm sliding through here. Pause. You got Lindor. He's still talking. He says, "I feel the Knicks should draft Tyler Kolek." All right, we'll get into that in a second, man. Who asked initially? So that was you. So you want to talk some draft stuff? I'll give you some draft stuff in a minute. So you're the last one talking here. So let me just when Brunson is out. Yeah, that's cool. So he said the beef is done. They squashed it, bro. Yeah, I guess so. They squashed it, but then I think Rich Paul was they asked him a question about something, and he just threw James Dolan under the bus, talking about what is it called, nepotism. They were talking about nepotism, and he threw James Dolan under the bus, but neglected to mention Jeannie Buss, right? So just weird, man. Shout out to Bagger Jones. He just popped in. He said Mitch needs to go to injury prone. That's where I'm at it, man. And then like I said, for somebody so big and strong, he's not an enforcer. He doesn't set good screens. So like, what are we doing here? So draft stuff. I'll get into some draft stuff. So who do I think we'll draft? So I'll do Tankathon. Let's do Tankathon real quick, because it's like this is an easy website to read without any pop-ups and stuff like that. So this is Tankathon here. This is the actual draft order. So sliding down here, I'm just gonna look at who they project to be in this area. So who did you mention? You mentioned Tyler Kolek. So where's Tyler Kolek? So Tyler Kolek is here. He's a point guard, senior from Marquette. Is this the white kid? Tyler Kolek. Let me see. Tyler Kolek. I got to get the face to the name. Tyler Kolek. Let me get the face to the name here. So yes, that's the white kid from Marquette. He's a gamer, bro. Really good basketball player. I think when he makes it to the NBA, he's gonna end up being like a TJ McCollum, or possibly even more than that. TJ McCollum's pretty good. TJ McCollum I could start in the NBA if somebody gave him an opportunity. So I think he possibly could be along those lines there. Just face value, looking at him like that. So I'm just letting you know that I think he's an NBA basketball player. So if we drafted him, I wouldn't be mad. But at the same time with the Knicks, I just think that drafting a point guard is not the idea. We have that European guy, man, that we drafted a couple years ago. Knicks draft picks. Let me see. I'm trying to see if we can get a list here. I said it says Knicks draft picks. Let me see. Knicks draft picks. So let's take a look at the Knicks draft picks. I just want to get these names, the name right. Where's Money at? He was drafted. So we got him via trade, man. So if anybody help me out, the white kid that we got from Lithuania. I can't think of Money's name, man. But we already have him. So if he comes over, then he's a guy that we could possibly have on the roster, just dangling, and we might be able to use him if we can. So drafting a point guard might not be the best option, I think, but he's a good player, man. I like him a lot. But let's let me go to some players that I actually do like. If we're gonna draft somebody, I kind of want to get a center or a wing. So I mean, they got Zach Edney down here, man. If Zach Edney is available right before the Knicks pick, I think the Knicks need to trade up and try to get him. Same thing with what's the other center here? Kalel Ware. He's really good too. Kyle Flipowski, he's good too, but I'm not sure if he's going to be that good. I don't know if his game is going to translate to the NBA as much. It might, but I like Kalel Ware. I like Zach Edney a lot. You know what I'm saying? 7'5", just a guy that talking about lob threats and shit like that. He can definitely help with that. He's not gonna guard the perimeter, but you don't get a guy like that and tell him to guard the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? So I really like Zach Edney. If he's like right there with the Bucks, I don't think the Bucks would draft him. But if he's right there, I think the Knicks should try to trade up and get him. If he's still available right before the Knicks pick, I think the Knicks need to make a move there. But some names I really like Jalen Tyson. Shout out to DJ Shuttle, if you guys know who that is from Steph's show. He usually pops up on Steph's show, and he's part of the NBK network. This guy Jalen Tyson from California, really good basketball player. He's a junior. I think his game will translate in the NBA because he has a lot of NBA ready moves already. He has a very quick, crafty crossover. He's not really a running jump athlete. He could get up the court pretty fast, but he's not going to jump up and really bang it on the entire team. Even though he can dunk, he's not one of those guys that is going to jump out the gym. But skill wise, this guy has a lot of skill. Jalen Tyson, man. Who else do we have here? There's the point guard from Providence also. I'm trying to see where he is. I think he's a little higher. Yeah, Devin Carter. I really like Devin Carter. Devin Carter averaged 8.8 rebounds as a point guard in college, man. So I mean that jumps out at me. That means that guy is an effort player. He knows how to win, knows how to got a nose for the ball and stuff like that. So if we can get Devin Carter on his roster, I think that he will play immediately. Just based off of that. He's a junior also, 22 years old. So he's a little bit older than some of these guys here, 22 years old. But 8 rebounds per game, man. And then he gets almost 2 steals a game at 2.8, and he gets a block per game. So I think Devin Carter, if you want to talk about point guards, if Devin Carter is available, if he falls down, or if the Knicks really like him to that much, I think we should move up and get him too. Because if you're gonna do anything like that for a player, Devin Carter is one of those guys, man. I really like his talent. A couple more guys here. Let me try to see. Everybody keeps talking about Ryan Dunn. He might just be the Knicks, second round pick. If that was to happen, when he gets to the second round, I really like Nikola Jurisic. Nikola Jurisic is an international player. There, he's 6'8", with point guard skills and stuff. Man, he reminds me of what's Money's name in San Antonio. Can't think of Money's name right now, but you guys will help me out in the chat. But he reminds me of the old school player from San Antonio. I can't think of his name right now. Cam Christie is Max Christie's brother. That's somebody that's interesting. Second round picks too, man. I'm just looking around, see what I see here. No names jump at me right away here, but I really like Jalen Tyson. Like I said, I really like I got respect for Kyle Ware. I really want Zach Edney if he really falls that far. And what's the other one? The other one, Devin Carter. Devin Carter, I really like also. So there's another player here, the UFC point guard, Isaiah Collier. He's another guy that a lot of players, a lot of people seem to be talking about. He's really good too, very tough player. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how his competitive nature is. I'm not sure if it's a negative type of thing, but I think he's a good player also. There's quite a few guys here that I've seen play before. These guys, nobody really stands out. That's the problem. And some of these guys here up top, you're talking about these international guys, Alexandre Sarr, and this other dude, I can't even pronounce his name. I believe it's Zachary Risher, Rishasher, whatever the fuck his name is. Both of those guys are from France, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. All these international guys, it's always like a risk drafting them. Also, these G League guys are risk drafting those guys too, man. So, the draft, we'll have plenty of time to talk about these guys, but just early on, like I said, Devin Carter, Khalil Ware, I like Zach Edney, and Jalen Tyson, I like him a lot. With somebody else here that I mentioned. Oh, and Nikola Jurisic. So those are the names that I really like early on in this draft, man. That's going to change as time goes on. I'll do a draft podcast, later on, but I really don't think the Knicks are going to draft. I think these picks are going to end up being added to a trade to make something happen. I think it might be Paul George, man. You know what I'm saying? If I could put some money on it, I like to do DraftKings and stuff. So I'll put $20 on that if there was a bet. So don't really want to talk too much about the draft, but since you asked, I just put it out there, man. So let me see who else is here. We got fall back haters. He said that's the one that said the beef was done. Shout out to Bagger. Who else we got here? My man here, Mr. Visions, he says nothing like Ebru hating on Mitch every show. Yeah. See, I was trying not to do that because I mean, if you look at my history, man, I got like 4 or 5 podcasts just dedicated to shitting on Mitchell Robinson. I really just don't like his game at all. I think he's wasting our time. To tell you the truth, same thing like Frank Ntilikina wasted all those years with the Knicks. We weren't going to ever get anything out of him. We were just squeezing water out of a brick. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's what we got with Mitchell Robinson. But like I said, he does have value around the league, man. So we could trade him. So if people think that he's that good, then why is everybody so afraid to trade him to get the team better? So I just don't understand, man. Just scrolling down. OG will be back. I think just based off what Leon Rose has been doing, like Leon Rose is basically going to bring everybody back. He's not going to do nothing too crazy because he hasn't done anything crazy yet. I mean, but trading RJ and IQ for OG and Precious, that was pretty crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he has that in him, to do it again. But right now it's go time, and everybody in the world is saying that that the Knicks are knocking on the door. Shout out to Kevin Garnett. Look up Kevin Garnett. He just had a big rant in the show that he has with Paul Pierce. Big rant where he was saying the Knicks are knocking on that door. He said Philadelphia, also too, if they could sign some guys. I think we all agree to that. If Philadelphia could sign 2 players to play with Embiid and sign the right guys, they're going to be right there knocking on the door. And the Knicks, as currently constituted, are knocking on the door. But we can get greedy and try to get Paul George or somebody else here. And then if we do that, then we really are going to be like one of the favorites to win the championship next year. How funny how things change, over the years, man. We went from laughingstock to being one of the possible front runners to win the championship next year, man. Wow, man. Unbelievable. Angel Torres, he says, do you think the Nets would trade Bridges to the Knicks? That's a pride thing. So, I mean, the ownership guy, the Asian dude, I'm not sure if he's still the owner or whatever, but that Asian dude was popping so much shit online and stuff. For them to trade Mikal Bridges is going to take a lot, because he's going to be embarrassed. He's probably going to come out and say something. That's why I don't mind Leon Rose not saying anything to the media. Also, James Dolan keeping quiet. The Knicks just keeping the door shut and the mics quiet, talking about stuff, man, because, those things come back to haunt you, and the Nets, like I said, as an organization, they've been doing things throughout the years that you just can't come back for. The Knicks never talk shit about the Nets, but the Nets are always talking about the Knicks, man. So now it's like funny now, and they deserve all the laughs coming towards them, man, and it's, so anyway, basically the karma there, I just don't think that they would trade Mikal Bridges. But the smart thing, because like one of our guys said here, the trying to find it real quick. The trade that's out there is still the same trade no matter what we do. So even for like Mikal Bridges, the trade will still be the same guys. I'm trying to find it. Am I going blind or something? So it's the same trade no matter what. So here it is here. It's going to be Bogey, Mitch Robinson, and McBride. So if the Nets want Bogey, Mitch Robinson, and McBride, then trade us Mikal Bridges. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind that. Trade us Mikal Bridges. They would have to do something to sweeten that up a little bit. But trade us Mikal Bridges. We'll send you something like that. Because the Nets are actually going to lose their center. I keep forgetting Money's name. So I mean, I must be losing my mind or something like that because I just can't remember stuff half the time here. But centers here, the best center that's available in free agency is the Nets center, Nicholas Claxton. So you want to talk about Hartenstein, leaving to go to OKC? I think Nicholas Claxton might be the one to go to OKC. That would be crazy. Claxton is a really good center, and I think he's better than Mitch Robinson. You know what I'm saying? So if they lose Claxton, they're going to be in the market for Mitch Robinson. So if I was the Nets, I would try to get Mitch Robinson, Bogey, and McBride on the Nets. Try to get something for Mikal Bridges, and just give the Knicks Mikal Bridges to stop the bullshit. If we can get Mikal Bridges, keep Mikal Bridges, make him the shooting guard, and re-sign OG, and let's go for this championship, bro. So I mean, it works well for all teams. The Nets could use a draft pick, or I wouldn't give them more than one because we're talking about Mikal Bridges here. So I would give one draft pick and the same trade right here, same Bogey, Mitch, and McBride. You know what I'm saying? I would do that. Or maybe not McBride, maybe throw maybe throw something else in there. But I mean, that's basically the trade for everything that we have going on here. So I mean, if the Nets want to move on and make their team better, then they should make that move. Just give us Mikal Bridges to stop the bullshit. And I think with Mikal Bridges and Brunson in the backcourt with DiVincenzo coming off the bench, with Josh Hart coming off the bench behind OG and Julius Randle, that's a really good team, man. That is a really, really, really good team. Yeah, so Ryan Dunn in the second round is possible. Second round, Rokas, man. Golly. Rokas Jokabitis, whatever his name is, right? Rokas will if he comes over, he would be a good backup point guard prospect, behind Brunson. I think that would be dope. That's somebody that's been playing international ball and stuff. He probably suited to come off the bench. And I think he would come off the bench and I think he would play hard. I think he would be good. He has the international experience, man. He'll still be a rookie, but he'll be like one of those super rookies with all the experience that he has, man. So I think Rokas will come here and I think he would play really well for the Knicks as a backup point guard. He won't get a lot of minutes unless he really balls out. But I can see him coming in and getting minutes, man. So I think that's dope. So thanks for that, Lindior, man. Like I said, I must be going senile or something, man. Yeah, Rokas, my man Vision's bust out with the Rokas also. Tristan Da Silva also is another player that's pretty good too, man. So like I said, we'll get into draft stuff as time goes on and stuff. Yeah, by definition, man, these Philadelphia 76ers, they got $58 million in cap space. Like I said, this number might be a little bit less, but they definitely have enough to sign one player, and they still have money left over. So they could squeeze two max players out of this money here. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that it's gonna be a full max. I think it's just one full max and like a piece of just money left over. So they'll be able to sign some players, man. So I mean, Philadelphia's gonna be right there. Definitely. So let me slide down here. Who else we got here? We got a new guy here. He said, you really want Jimmy? You really want a 55 million a year? So I mean, I didn't say I really wanted him. I was just talking about him. We just talking about three guys that the internet is talking about. Not me. So we're just talking about options for the Knicks here. I didn't say I really wanted anybody. Brandon Ingram. He's one of those guys this high on the list. Yeah, I really want Paul George. I really, the situation getting Paul George here, I really want Paul George here. That'll be dope. Mikal Bridges, I really would like him here too. If we can make that happen. But like I said, it's all for the same trade. I'm not going to give too much. Maybe certain teams would get more draft picks than others. But basically, that's the trades that I would give for the same three. Whoever wants that package with the draft picks added to it, then those are the ones that's going to get it, and we'll hopefully get one of these big time players here. I'm excited, man. I'm really excited about that. So I see Cleveland here. So he said this is Bagger Jones. He said if we can get Mitchell from Cleveland, that's Donovan Mitchell, and OG coming back, he can help with the offense and just in case injuries and stuff like that. I got you. Donovan Mitchell's another guy too, but as far as Donovan Mitchell, I just don't think Donovan Mitchell's the guy. We got DiVincenzo. Donovan Mitchell could score. But just watching him in Cleveland there, I think Cleveland really needs to keep Donovan Mitchell, make Donovan Mitchell the point guard, and trade the current point guard that they do have there, and trade him to try to get a player here that better fits the team. Because Donovan Mitchell, when the point guard was hurt, he was basically running point guard, and it looked great. It looked great. He looked like Brunson actually, with all the scoring and passing and stuff like that. So him on the ball at all times is a good idea. So I think they need to trade the point guard that they currently have for a shooting guard or for a small forward to help that situation there. So I think Cleveland needs to keep Donovan. They can't trade him. They have nothing else. There's nothing else going on for them unless they want a complete rebuild. You know what I'm saying? So I think they really need to do that. Maybe they need to mix around some of the players that they have here. Some of the big men that they have, they might need to get off of some of those guys. So I think Cleveland needs to sort things out on their own there. I don't want any parts of Donovan Mitchell, to tell you the truth. Good dude. You know what I'm saying? If he ends up being a Knick, I'm not going to be mad. But I just think that for me, on my radar, I'm not really concerned about Donovan Mitchell at the moment. I really would like to get one of these bigger guys here. Rather than get another small guard. Mikal Bridges, Paul George and Brandon Ingram. Those are the guys I'm looking at, man. If we can get one of those guys, yeah, the Nets would never, man. It's they're bugged out, man. They really need to swallow the pride and just continue to build their franchise because it sucks. It sucks that Brooklyn is doesn't have their own identity. They still don't have a soul. The Nets haven't had a soul yet. They started drafting and getting young players and stuff after they made the Kevin Durant trade. They got their soul back a little bit, but they were fucking around with Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas should be a household name now. He should be averaging 30 points per game with the Nets, and they should be feeding him the basketball. But they're playing games. They had him coming off the bench and stuff like that. So, because because of optics, they want to get stars here. They don't want to build nobody up. So it looks bad to me. They look bad as a franchise. So they have a chance to fix it. But I don't think they will. I think they're still going to be stargazing and still trying to get the headlines or the back page when nobody reads the paper anymore. Nobody reads the newspaper, but they're still looking to get back page articles over the Knicks, which is ridiculous to me. Yeah, so Rokas there. Definitely couldn't remember his name for nothing, man. My man honestly always says, I don't want you don't want any player. We have to trade 7 to 8 pieces for one. Yeah, I don't want to blow up the team either for one person there, but like I said, I think it's just going to be those 3 guys. We're not going to blow up any of the core people, especially Julius. All these guys got to stay, man. So anyway, uh, don't want Brunson near USA. Yeah, he's not going to play USA. But the thing with Brunson, him playing all-star level games like that is not really his game. Brunson needs to be on ball. So him on ball and scoring. So him and the USA thing, he has to distribute. So he was asked to distribute last summer, and that's why it didn't work. So they got a better mix. They got a better international team there for the Olympics this year. So I think Brunson should just stay away from USA basketball altogether. Just enjoy your summers and just leave it like that. Butler is entertainment for now. Yeah, Butler is just in the mix. Just somebody to talk about. It's not somebody that I want. On the Knicks. I think that time is already passed already. And I think Tom Thibodeau's sick of that motherfucker too, man. I think everybody's sick of him. Yeah, salute to Kareem Grant. What's good, my man? Yeah, man. So we're winding down this podcast, but guys are dropping questions, man. So I'm here to answer, man. If guys got questions and stuff, we got Glenn Belandres there. He says, I don't know if you'll even entertain it, but how about Brook for possible starting or backup? So Brook, who are you talking about? Brook Lopez. How about Brook? Like I said, I'm going C now, man. I don't know what the hell I'm saying half the time. So which player are you talking about? Because I'm down to do anything. If something happens that I didn't expect what was going to happen, I can make sense of it. Yeah, Brook Lopez. So I mean, Brook Lopez is older. He works perfect with the way that the Bucks are playing. But he's definitely older, man. Would I mind getting him? Absolutely not. I think getting him along with Hartenstein would be dope. Have Brook Lopez coming off the bench, or even to start Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is still a prolific shot blocker, good passer, excellent 3-point shooter. He's definitely something that the Knicks could use. Especially if we get 4 guys. If we get Paul George, say Julius Brunson, there's as a top 3 along with OG. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. So signing Brook Lopez to like a minimum contract or something like that. That's the thing. He would have to accept something like that just to go along for the ride type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be dope. In that group, having Brook Lopez trailing would be fantastic, man. You know what I'm saying? A nice mix between Brook Lopez and Hartenstein. I think that's a good idea too. I can make sense of all of this stuff, man. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, just looking at the Hoops Hype article here too, because I'm always referencing it. If you want to talk about centers, you could just go down the line. Hartenstein's the number 2 listed one there. You got you got Valanciunas. We can bring him over also. Valanciunas shoots the 3 a little bit, and he can rebound still. Mortis Wagner's not coming over. He's a restricted free agent. You got Andre Drummond for the cheap. He's mid-level, not mid-level. There's gonna be a minimum player there, Andre Drummond. Got Jalen Smith. This is an interesting player here. Jalen Smith has a player option. The player option, he's giving up $5 million a year, man. So I don't know what he's looking for. But he's a young guy that still got a lot of talent, man. So he's another guy that can be picked up and will probably be a steal. I could see him going to OKC. That's an interesting player there. You got Sarek. Sarek is always around. Precious Achiever's still around, man. As far as centers, Goga Batazde, I can never pronounce these guys' names, but I really like him. I think he's a what we talking about? A goon? You want to talk about a goon? I think this guy is a goon. So I would not mind getting Goga on this team here. Goga is still going to be a minimum player, not mid-level exemption. He's going to be a minimum player probably. I would love to get him. If we can get him, he could shoot the three. So he would be a nice transition player between Hartenstein. Where he still is going to give you a lot of toughness, could still rebound, run the floor, get dunks, and he can shoot the three too. So I think Goga is definitely on my radar. He's one of these guys that I kind of want him on the Knicks next year, man. Talking about centers. So, like somebody mentioned, if you trade Mitch Robinson, got to replace him. I wouldn't mind signing Goga. It's a nice, cheap alternative, man. If you want to try to save some money a little bit. Nice, cheap alternative there. Yeah, Jalen Smith is on the Pacers. He has a player option, though. So it's player option. So, I mean, they're probably going to keep him. I don't understand why they would get rid of him. But they haven't been playing him, though. They've been using other players. So that's interesting. So if he exercises his player option just to get a better opportunity, he's going to get an opportunity somewhere, and somebody's going to get a good player. He's going to get a nice, good young player, even though he's goofy, man. That's a goofy looking dude, bro. Oh my God. But he got a lot of talent, though. So I mean, there's a lot of talent around the NBA, man. Kind of like drawing this podcast out a little bit, man. But I appreciate you guys contributing to the chat. I love it, man. I love when you guys come in with the questions and stuff. I'm starting to see names I haven't seen in a while. Shout out to Bagger Jones there. He said win-win situation with Brook Lopez and Ihart. Both good at making free throws. Yeah. So I mean, good to see Bagger Jones in the place. Kareem Grant, David L. All you guys, man. Harlem CEO, my favorite, one of my favorites of all time. Hopefully we get to see each other this summer, man. A lot of you guys. Lynn Dior, thank you for coming in, man. So I definitely appreciate the guys coming in the chat. Angel Torres, too. Let me shout you out too. Definitely some guys that I haven't seen in a minute. And thank God you guys are back, man. Good to see you. As you can see here, you got Jalen Brunson here on my left-hand side. I have 4 of these. So this is one. I got 3 more. I would like to give away some of these here. So, like I said, I'm waiting for the viewership to get back up to where they used to be. I'm starting to see my guys pop back up, man. So the last podcast was I might be up to 4,000 views at this point. You know what I'm saying? Which is dope. Off season garbage. So everybody's looking for Knicks content. So I appreciate you guys coming in. So hopefully this podcast does well also. And as time goes on, I'm gonna open up this thing here, this vault, because I not only that, I have this. I have some more stuff here on the side that I have. I have some other stuff here that I would like to give away also. Some magazines and that type of thing. So we'll see what happens as time goes on, man. So I definitely appreciate you guys coming in, man. So we're gonna have a great summer, guys. You know what I'm saying? Before we get out of here, man. Before we get out, I wanted to touch on this before this pod got too long. I don't know if you need a pause with that, but I'm gonna start Die Hard Knicks training camp. Just some videos at this point now, just some videos, nothing so crazy. Because I try to do something with Sim with that. But Sim is really busy, man. So I don't want to get Sim involved. We'll see, but I don't want to get Sim involved, something that he can't handle at the moment. But as far as training camp, man, I'm just gonna be working out, and I'm gonna be letting you guys know what I'm doing. Because your boy's 260 pounds, man. And when I started this podcast, bro, I was like 200, 215 the most. And I was as small as 186 pounds when I started this pod. You know what I'm saying? So today you talking about 2018. At that time, I was about 200 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So I gained like 60 pounds since then. It's crazy, man. I've been trying to get my weight down and stuff like that. It's not working because I'm working too much. Not necessarily not eating right, but I'm not exercising. I'm not exercising at all, man. All I'm doing is working and going to sleep. Working 12-hour, 16-hour days. It's no good, man. I'm not getting a break. So I'm trying to figure that out right now. You know what I'm saying? Trying to balance family life, trying to balance this internet life stuff. So, I'm going to use you guys, man, to try to get myself in shape. And hopefully I can motivate you guys to join in on the Dire Knicks training camp. Training camp, man, is basically the whole summer. So hopefully we can get ourselves into shape the same way we expect these Knicks to get into shape. Let's all get into shape. So when the season starts and everybody starts popping up to these events, we'll all be ready and confident, to take pictures and stuff like that. Because a lot of stuff is confidence also, man. A lot of times you'll be out of shape and then somebody got a camera up there, and then I look like a house. I don't feel confident. I feel confident, but then I see the pictures and it's just like, oh man, I can't believe I look like that. So anyway, I just hope you guys follow that journey. I'll throw some stuff out there, see if you guys enjoy it. And but I will be working out regardless, man. So Die Hard Training Camp is gonna start Sunday. So I'll probably post something on Sunday. And then we'll just see how that goes, man. Follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting videos. Also follow me on TikTok, depending on which platform you like. I'll be posting videos there. So anyway, without further ado, this your boy Ebru, the next podcast. 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking the thumb salute. See you guys next time. Thank you guys for tuning in. And like I said, I'll see you guys on Sunday. And we'll do this Die Hard Training Camp stuff, man. I'll let you guys know what I'll be doing. And then, like I said, on Instagram, TikTok, I'll be posting and even on YouTube, I'll be posting shorts and videos on YouTube. Just showing you what I'm doing and stuff like that. And maybe I'll do longer podcasts, and I'll just see where that goes as far as content and stuff like that. But as far as the work, trying to get my health back together, that's a real thing, man. We got to get that together, man. So anyway, peace, guys. I'll see you guys next time. See you guys Sunday, and I'm out of here. Let's do the short outro. I kind of like it. So anyway, peace.